Am I the asshole for asking my coworker not to eat her cultural food in the break room? I know how the title sounds, and I'm sure as you begin reading this post, it'll sound worse, but please hear me out. I have a wonderful coworker, who I get along really well with. This coworker is Nepalese and I am a white woman. In the past, she's been kind enough to bring in different food from her culture for us all to try. I have zero problem with her or anyone else bringing in food from their culture, and I've really enjoyed some of the dishes and sweets she's brought, especially the barfi she brought in earlier this year for Diwali. My workplace has lots of different cultures, and I usually don't care what anyone else brings to lunch, at least until this situation. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed a horrible smell in the break room that was incredibly strong. It was kind of like if you farted into a sweaty sock and stuck it to your face. It was honestly inescapable within the room, even after I changed the rubbish bin. I didn't know what it was, but ended up going outside and eating in my car. I figured it was just a one-off, but for every few days I'd smell it again. I genuinely had no idea where it was coming from. During this time I just ate outside the building, or in my car. However, one day I walked in, and it was somehow even stronger. This day happened to be a day I had the same break as Jane. I noticed she was eating a fruit, and realized that's where the smell was coming from. I asked what she was eating, and she told me it was called durian. I think that's how it's spelled. And she had only recently found a good market for them. I said I was glad she was enjoying it, but mentioned that its smell was quite overpowering, and left the room smelling afterwards. I asked her if she wouldn't mind eating it at home, or going outside as the smell really lingers in the staff room. She said she never really noticed the smell but would do her best to do so. She seemed a bit annoyed but hasn't brought it into the break room since. I was talking with a friend about this, also white, and she said I was behaving in a racist way towards my coworker, and it was wrong to police her cultural food. I argued that it wasn't a cultural thing and I'd have done the same if someone was microwaving fish or another smelly food. This has caused a debate between us about if what I did was offensive, and while I do still think I was right, I am beginning to question if I could be viewed as in the wrong. So, Reddit, am I the asshole? Many airlines and hotels who are Asian countries adjacent have been known to ban durian. Not your fault. Even Anthony Bourdain ate some and liked it. Still had some things to say about its smell and aftertaste. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but you phrased the title as though you asked her not to eat Nepalese food. At work it should be, am I the asshole for asking my coworker not to eat durian in the break room? So much preamble to read when lots of people know what the crack is with durian. I think not the asshole in this case. Durian is banned in many public places and public transportation throughout different parts of Asia due to its scent. It surprises that your coworker would not realize its scent is bothersome. I think it's reasonable to ask she not bring it. Not the asshole because it is durian. Everyone everywhere who eats durian knows it smells like ass. Her feigning innocence is infuriating. This cultural food is banned on public transit in some Southeast Asian countries because the smell is very well known. It literally famously smells awful. It's like surstrumming, which famously smells so bad it makes people barf, and isn't supposed to even be opened indoors. Not the asshole, but who calls a fruit cultural food? Let me guess your friend doesn't know what a durian is. Get your hands on one, and have your friend smell it. I feel like this is bait. Durian is notoriously stinky. I just don't believe that someone having it on a regular basis is ignorant of that. I am Indian. Durian would not be considered Nepalese cultural food or Nepalese indigenous fruit. It's from C. Asia, a fake. Not the asshole. Durian is not a cultural food. It's a fruit that's widely available in Southeast Asia. It is also widely known for being extremely smelly. Asking somebody not to eat durian in a shared, likely relatively small and enclosed break room is perfectly fine. But this should apply to any strong-smelling foods. Fish, microwave popcorn, etc. should all be banned in the break room. This feels so fake. Durians don't grow in Nepal and are native to sea. So I don't see how it's her culture food, and it's common courtesy in sea to never eat durian indoors unless it's your own home source. I am from sea and durian is fav fruit. You're the asshole for this very obvious bait. Get lost. There is no way this is real. There is no way she is bringing durian in Ochi. That wouldn't be acceptable in Asian countries either. This is fake, so you're the asshole. What makes you think durian is a Nepalese cultural food? Nepalists don't celebrate Diwali, they celebrate Tihar. Durians are not a Nepali food. They don't even have a word for it. It is not a cultural food there. Not saying this is fake, but a lot of these details are just straight up wrong. Fake. Fake. Durian isn't Nepalese. Bullshit. This sounds exactly like the story about the Mexican roommate and her cultural practice of throwing dirty TP in the rubbish bin. And everybody knows that durian stinks. Literally, everyone. I don't believe this happened. I'm Nepali, and can confirm durian is not a cultural food. I've never seen them being sold here. In fact, the average person living in Nepal won't have even heard of it. Either you're racist or a liar. AITA, which one is worse? Fake? I can't tell if you are trolling or trying to play identity politics here, especially the way you wrote it. Durian isn't really a Nepalese cultural food, and even cultures that do eat it are well aware of the smell impact. This is clearly a bait for the white saviors who don't know what a durian is. Several hotels in the original countries forbid people from having them in their rooms due to the smell. So not the asshole if this is true, but YT is I think it's just bait. You're the asshole because I don't believe this. Anyone who can claim durian to their culture knows it is something you eat outdoors or in private. The story itself is implausible, but the clickbait title is a dead giveaway. Not the asshole. Durian is so notorious for smelling badly that many places where it is a common item have signs banning it from being carried in public spaces like buses or consumed in offices or public buildings.